Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Town of Raynham Selectmen meeting on May 29th. Would you all please rise as we pledge allegiance to our flag?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Okay, the minutes, please.
Motion to accept.
a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's see, we have no committees here this evening, no department heads that wish to speak, no appointments, no public hearings. We have some new business. And part of our new business is the whole group of colors that I see in front of me. You all look wonderful. All your shirts are actually almost all different, aren't they? You tie-dyed them yourselves, or did you have them done?
We tie them ourselves.
Self-done.
They look wonderful. They really do. And I guess congratulations are in order. Joseph, would you like to start off?
Sure, thank you, Madam Chair. I think, first of all, we just want to congratulate all of you. I think we've been trying as a town to do a better job to recognize our student scholars, student athletes, for the successes that they're having in our community, statewide. In your case, I understand it's nationally. We want you to know just how impressed we are with you, how proud we are with you, and how grateful we are that you choose to use some of the little time that you all have as students to do good things in the community and enhance your skill set. As you know, between MCAS and homework and SATs and all those other good tests that I definitely don't miss myself. You're choosing to do something good, hone some skills, better yourself, improve your resume, and make yourself marketable. And I think that's awfully commendable, and we're really proud of you. And it's nice to put faces with the name of the group as well, because Chief King has been advocating for you for a long, long time. And so, again, we're proud of you, and we wish you a lot of continued success.
I just agree with everything that Joe said, and I actually have some background information here if I could read into the record. This is the 23rd year of the Bridgewater Raynham TJ Squared Robotics team. This year there were 55 students and 34 adults involved, which is really impressive. Students are grades 9 through 12 from the high school. Class of 2018 had 7 students. Class of 2019, 9. Class of 2020 had 16. Class of 2021 had 13, for a total of 17 girls, 38 boys, 19 from Raynham, 36 from Bridgewater, so we are well represented. The team was founded by BR teacher, high school teacher Liz Califf, and J&J engineer Sal Calderisi in 1995. The first competition was the spring of 1996 at Southern New Hampshire University. At about 2000, the competition went from individual teams to alliance of 3 robots. Now in the World Championship, there are alliances of 4 robots. This is the 4th year of New England First and the district model. The price structure and competition structure was changed from a 3-day regional events to 2-day district events, heading to the 3-day New England Championship, heading to the 4-day World Championship. And you've all but just been doing a fantastic job, and those that came before you. I understand that this year you won the Southeastern Massachusetts New England District event, the WPI New England District event, ranked 5th in New England to compete with the top 64 teams in New England at the New England District Championship held in Boston, finished the New England District Championship 12th in New England, and qualified among the top 34 New England teams to travel to the World Championship in Detroit. And you seeded 23rd in your division at the World Championship out of 66 teams. There were 6 divisions and a total of 396 teams in Detroit. There were also First Lego League teams, Junior First Lego League teams, and the First Tech Challenge teams from all over the world represented in Detroit. You've won a total of 9 blue banners, 2 of which you won this year, and we are so proud of all of you. So thank you all for being involved.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah, so impressive, yes.
That was really quite impressive. Peter, Do you remember, do you remember my grandson Fran?
Yes.
He was on one of the very first robotics team. And he still talks about how much fun he had with it. So I guess you guys are really doing a great, great job with these youngsters. And they certainly are up to the challenge that they have faced and came away with great winners. I have a proclamation that I'd like to read. And then I have whoever is the leader of the pack. I would like, when I'm through with it, to come up and get it, okay? Proclamation from TJ2 FRC Team 88. Whereas the TJ2 FRC Team number 88 is the first robotics team from the machine shop inside Bridgewater Raynham Regional High School, composed of students, teachers, mentors, and whereas they started their season off with a win and ended with winning the New England District competition for the second straight year, and then advanced to the district championship event in Boston. And whereas this led them to the ultimate challenge in Detroit against teams from all over the world at the first World Robotic Championship, where they were seeded 23 out of 66 teams in their division. And whereas their hard work, enthusiasm, and continued support from Bridgewater Raynham students and residents, and of course, the tireless efforts from team's founder, Liz Caleb, has given us all a reason to say, oh yeah. Now, whereas we, the Raynham Board of Selectmen, do hereby proclaim May 29th, 2018 as Bridgewater Raynham TJ2 Robotics Team Day in the town of Raynham. And it gives me great pleasure. Gives me great pleasure to present it to you. All in color. See, we're all in color.
Matches your shirts.
It's nice. You're very welcome.
Congratulations.
So you actually have the best photographer around.
He likes to do
That's
this
right.
to me.
Thank you. Oh, sure, thanks, Liz.
I want to thank you all for coming, and I want to say, go after it next year. Do it all over
Madam
again.
Chairman,
Yes,
just one other thing, one of the teams that won at VR last year is in that picture. They won this year too.
oh, wow. That's a wonderful picture, Peter. I'm sure you have one from every year.
I might have a couple.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chief. Thank you.
Thank you for all the work that you do with the team also.
Thank you, guys.
Bye now. Thank you so much. We have a Class 2 dealer's license from Prestige Automart, Inc., DBA Prestige Pre-Owned Outlet on 1440 New State Highway. Is there anybody here? Hi. Would you please come up here? This is for a dealership?
Yes,
What are you going to sell?
used cars, trucks, SUVs.
Used cars? All right, any new cars on the site, or
No,
just,
just used.
just all used cars?
The site used to be Rodman Lincoln Mercury.
I'm sorry, I can't hear
It
you.
used to be Rodman Lincoln Mercury. There was a fence place
The
that moved
fence,
out.
right. And you did check all of the zoning on that, as I asked you to see that it was all, because I wasn't sure whether a used car dealership, strictly all used car, was a permissible thing in that particular area. But Mr. Flaherty has checked it for me and says yes, that it is.
I have no issues and no questions. I'd motion to approve.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anything you wish to say to us? I like to see the people who are doing business in the town, and I don't know you, sir. That's why I said I wanted to.
You've
Well,
never heard of-
I have a dealership right on 138 in
On
town.
138, across from,
From
what?
gas station, right on the Raynham town line.
And he's on every radio station.
I don't listen to the radio at all.
When you drive as
And
much
see,
as me.
And that's, you're supposed to be dating me.
Do you want to talk about loading and offloading?
Loading,
Oh, yes,
offloading.
thank you. The only thing I think we would clarify is, and it probably is not as applicable to you, because I know you have a different process, but loading and unloading the vehicles on 44 is prohibited, and if you're caught doing that, it could result in the revocation of your license.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, we have plenty of room
Good.
to go in, and it's a big location. so
Yes,
shouldn't
very good
be-
size.
Shouldn't be a problem loading and unloading. Now, I just want to know the process here, as far as getting the license, when do I have to come in with a check and pick it up, right?
So we just voted to approve it for you. If you want to reach out to our office tomorrow, they can usually turn it over in a couple days.
What will be the process for the body shop license? I also want to say.
But
I don't think we offer those. I mean, I can look into it.
I don't know if there's a license. I think, we'd have to look into that.
Okay, because I asked at the time and they said that you guys don't have that process.
Yeah, I think you can just do it, to be honest with you. But why don't we look into it?
Yeah, before
Yeah.
we get you in trouble.
I understand, I don't want that.
And if you're anything like me, you can get in trouble without even having
Yeah, that's
trying,
true.
you know?
No, I don't want that.
Do you live in town, sir?
No, I live in Seekonk.
In Seacon?
I used to live in Somerset, I moved to Seekonk.
Oh, okay. And
But
somebody...
we have a store in Raynham, in Taunton now.
In Taunton.
We have one in East Providence, and we have one in Westport.
Okay. And they all sell used cars?
Wholesale used cars. We sell a lot of used cars.
Yeah, really? Very good. Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming in
Thank you.
and
Thank
allowing
you.
us to say thank you.
Thanks.
Lucini Bus Line contract is on their list of agendas here, but old business, or new business, how do you want to handle that?
Yeah, I just want to report that action was taken in executive session, and just for the public's information, just a little background, that 3 years ago, the town entered into a 3-year lease agreement with Lucini Bus Lines to park 3 school buses at the site of the Old South School. The need for the buses to be parked there arose from the problem of crossing Route 44 at the time. It took so long to get across the Route 44 Orchard Street intersection that the buses couldn't complete their routes and arrive at school on time. The lease agreement expires on June 30th, and the situation that existed 3 years ago no longer exists. With the new traffic signals, the long delay in crossing Route 44 no longer exists, and the former South School has now become an active community center, with the Raynham Channel totally renovating that building and hosting many events as well as meetings at the site. Since the original need has diminished, if it still exists at all, and the space to park 3 buses at the site is no longer exists whenever special events are being held there, and more events are planned for the future, it does not seem to be in the best interest of the town to continue the lease agreement. Therefore, a motion was made and approved to notify Lucini Bus Lines accordingly that we will not be renewing the contract.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, if I could, I would just add that
Certainly.
that vote was not unanimous. So,
Okay,
Thank you.
for the record, for Joe. Do we have any old business other than
none, Madam Chair.
town administrator? May I have your report, please?
Yes, Madam Chair. Ongoing projects, the North School windows and cameras are finished. Just some minor interior bathroom and door security, and the archive room should be done. As acting health agent, I performed 2 swimming pool opening inspections and followed up on a Chapter 2 housing issue. And just a reminder that Raycam needs another board member. Contact Kevin Ellis if interested. And the Historical Commission also needs 2 more members. Contact Pat Riley or the Selectmen's office if you're interested. Next Selectmen's meeting is not next week. It'll be the week after, June 12th at 7 PM, as we are in summer schedule. Next department head meeting will be June 21st at 9:30. Southeastern Mass Health Group meeting will be tomorrow in Seekonk, May 30th. And then Student Government Day will be this Thursday at 9 AM. We'll have a bunch of Bridgewater Raynham High School students in, shadowing all the different departments in town.
Any questions?
None.
Selectmen's report?
Just very brief, Madam Chair, I just wanted to extend my gratitude to all those involved in the planning of the parade this year. It was, as always, a great success, and I only know casually the amount of work that goes into planning it because I am not on that committee, but it's appreciated, and I think the community enjoys it every year. So thank you to all those who made it happen.
You're welcome.
I have a few things, Mrs. Smith.
Oh, okay.
Concerning the Memorial Day commemoration, the flag display, the large flags, we want to thank the Highway Department for putting them up, the Fire Department for they will be taking them down, and everyone who has donated funds to the RAVE organization to purchase them, since RAVE Salute to Our Veterans Committee first announced plans for the project and the Memorial Day Parade in July of 2012. For the small flags, we want to thank Veterans Agent Michaela Brito, Lowe's volunteers. We had about a dozen volunteers from Lowe's, and the RAVE volunteers who assisted in lining the streets with them, as well as Mr. Paul Monty, who donated them to us. For the parade, thank you to everyone who turned out to watch the parade. We had a larger audience than ever. Everyone who participated in the parade, there were over 30 units, and everyone who helped coordinate it, especially RAVE Salute to Our Veterans Committee Chair, Sandy Leahy, RAVE Coordinator Becky George, former RAVE Coordinator Kim Dolan, RAVE Board members Becky Mello, Lisa McCoy, and Kara Peters, our Raynham Fire Department, under Fire Chief Jim Janis, Raynham Police Department, under Chief Jim Donovan, retired Police Chief Peter King, and especially our CERT team under the leadership of Kevin Marrera. They are so helpful. They have a CERT member with every division. It really helps us keep everything together, and they were a huge help. For the ceremony, thank you to all who attended, again, more than ever, and everyone who took part, including the Bridgewater Antiphonal Brass Society Band, Raynham Middle School Chorus, Selectman Joe Pacheco and Chairman Marie Smith, Miss Molly Karen, State Representative Angelo D'Amelia, our Bridgewater Raynham Rainwater Players, Director of Veteran Services, Michaela Brito, with Project 351 Ambassador Jaden Ravel, BR Superintendent Derek Swenson, American Legion Post 405 Commander Kevin Carney, the 772nd Army National Guard Unit for the final salute to a soldier, and Army Sergeant First Class Chris Buckley, who did the narration for us. Also, thank you to the Lions Club for letting us borrow 70 chairs and for opening their building for anyone who needed to use it after the parade. Also, thank you to Merrill School for letting us borrow the podium and even more chairs, and the Raynham Youth Baseball League for opening the restrooms for any participants who needed to use them. Also, Bridgewater Raynham Regional School Committee held their monthly meeting last week. The district will be closing out the year in the black, as always, realizing some significant savings in the substitute account. So kudos to our teachers for that. Also, the Mitchell's Building project is on track. The OPM has been hired, Daedalus Projects Incorporated, and the architectural firm has now been selected, RDA, Raymond Design and Associates, pending a positive negotiation. A new amplifier system has been installed in the gymnasium, which should provide much better sound for this coming Sunday's graduation ceremony. Other special events include the Scholarship Awards Night tomorrow night and the Excel program graduation Thursday evening. Last day of school has officially been set for June 20th. Cast Week takes place Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're still looking for a couple more seniors if anybody wants to help out. And Rave Appreciation, Rave is 37 years old, will take place on Friday at 11:30 with a luncheon at Merrill School. And I have one more item, too. It is my understanding that when Mr. Randall Buckner, our previous town administrator, retired last year, the position was not posted or advertised, and our health agent and assistant town administrator, Mr. Flaherty, was asked to fill the position for 1 year as acting town administrator, which he has been doing, and we are certainly grateful for that. With that one-year position concluding on June 30th, I believe this board should move forward with agreeing on a job description and going forward with advertising the position. I've done a little research and received job descriptions from a few communities that are very similar to Raynham in population, average personal income, and overall operating budget, and I would ask my two colleagues to take these under advisement and hopefully finalize the job description at our next meeting on June 12th so that we can go forward on this. I'm hoping to attend the Massachusetts Selectmen's Association's training for newly elected selectmen on June 9th, so I should have more information before that meeting as well. So I have Charlton, Massachusetts, Belchertown, Massachusetts, and Carver for the two of you to review, and also just a listing of how why those communities were selected, how they are very similar to Raynham in several reasons. So I'll give a copy of that to you, Joe, and one to you, Marie, for homework study. And that's all that I have, Mrs. Smith.
Okay, did you make that as a motion, Pat?
I can make that as a motion.
I guess I'm just a little confused. Are we talking about not moving forward with Mr. Flaherty? Because my recollection is when we did our department head contracts in March, his contract was one of the ones that had been approved, so he's under contract through next June. And I guess I'm just a little confused. I mean, that's my recollection anyways.
I recall that we postponed everything until June.
I believe his contract expires June 30th. And as far as Mr. Flaherty, I would hope that he would apply for the position and may very well, be the candidate that's selected. But I think in a fair process, we really need to advertise the position and ensure the town residents that we have selected the most qualified, the best person for the position.
I would like to go back to the minutes, Joe, that we did that, if I can. It was in March, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it was in March. And I believe all the contracts were signed except for one, which was the police chief's.
Right, I have those all at home. I don't have contracts with me. And the police chief has not been completed yet.
Yeah.
Well, you want to take it under
Table that
advisement?
motion. Could table that motion for the next meeting.
Yes,
Motion to table.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have, Mrs. Smith.
Thank you. Correspondence. Oh, this is a December 24th. My goodness, already they're going into December. For a cheer legacy for Nancy Darpanet. And this is a permit request. And the calendar is up.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
House of Hope in New Bedford, dates requested 5/13, 6/4, 6/7, 6/14, and 6/21. And this is, just says House of Hope, New Bedford.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I have a letter from the sewer commissioners, and I do see there is a representative here. This is a letter requesting the Town of Raynham Board of Selectmen to expedite the authorization of ballot question 2.5 for debt exclusion for the Raynham Sewer Department.
I spoke to the town clerk, and it's my understanding we have to wait at least 35 days before setting an election, and her other request was that it be on a Tuesday. But if it's okay, I would motion that we take it under advisement and see if the clerk has a particular date in mind, since she's the one running it.
Right.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is that okay with you, sir? Can you speak? I don't know, can you?
I wanted to give you an update of the progress that we've been doing in the sewer department. When we were finishing South Raynham, we had some funds that could be expended for South Raynham, and we proceeded to design Contract 1 of the article that passed, Article 13, that passed at the recent town meeting. The sequence is, I believe, as Selectman Pacheco said, there's a 35-day period from the time you tell them to go ahead and do it, and then she can set up for the election. The reason I asked to expedite is because we have plans The superintendent was hoping to put out to bid so that we could do contract one this construction period, which means the summer of 18, and be completed by probably the second week in December type of thing. That requires the ballot question, and I can't commit to spending money that the ballot question has affirmed. And the reason I ask you to do it as quickly as possible is because we would be talking about a ballot sometime in July, and with the way the state works, regardless of what you ask, you have to award the contract 30 days, within 30 days after the opening of the bid and when it's accepted. So if we had a low bidder come in, we just can't give it to them until I have the second half of the debt exclusion vote in favor of expending that money.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's within our purview to do anything with. That would be up to the clerk, who is in charge of elections and
She
balloting
can't
and so
start
forth.
until you tell her. That's what I was told.
Yeah, I mean, we have
Well,
to
we
set the
have-
date,
we
but
have to
we've always consulted with the clerk as to
Yeah.
what the date is.
She would like it on a Tuesday.
Well, I've spoken with her. As far as a Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, it doesn't, it's more convenient for her. That's what I would be agreeing to. She's the one who controls when she does it.
Right.
My concern is making sure I can get into the ground this summer. You know, it
What
it
is
goes through
35
the
days,
process. It goes through the process of, we put it out to bid, give them 14 days. If there's any subcontract work within that particular contract, that has to come in first. And then 2 weeks later, you get the contract. And once you've reviewed the bids, it only allows me 30 days to award.
Right.
You could say, well, you're the low bidder, but I can't award it until the election, and if the election were to be in, say, August or December, we lose this year, and they won't hold that bid for that long. I mean, that's only from
I think
experience.
we understand the position. We're just trying to come up with a calculation as to when the earliest possible date could be.
I mean, it looks to me like the earliest possible date would be July 4th, and we're not having an election on July 4th.
No, of course not. And you wouldn't have it on July 3rd either,
Well, we
because
couldn't.
nobody would be here, and the 5th,
Yeah,
everybody's
so-
gone also.
So, I mean, I would just reiterate my opinion that we take it under advisement till the next meeting, get a date from the clerk, and then we set it with the expectation of setting it at our next meeting, and that would still put us in July for Mr. Bedencourt
Yeah.
to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to explain
Yes,
a little more fully why I pushed the letter through so quickly. It's the timing sequence. And then we can cut the design team loose for contract 2, so that we would be going out to bid for contract 2 in February or March of next year. And then when we could award it, because you can't get into the ground till after the 15th of April, and you can't be digging after a certain date in December. So your window is relatively
you have a
short.
window that you want to get in. We have no problem doing that, and
No, I
making sure that
I
the,
understand. I just came to
Yep.
give you a personal presentation as to why we're looking for,
and we
an
certainly
expedited
appreciate you
request.
doing that.
and in the past, everybody's worked very harmoniously, and I just think that by giving a little more personal presentation, other than just a piece of paper to the selectmen, to tell them, you know, this is why we were able to utilize some funds that we had. As you remember, you can only spend the money in the four corners of the article. And whereas contract one is finishing up south, we were able to design south with the available funds. And, you know, and as an update, the $2.5 million bond issue, we brought it in well under the 2.5 million, and I believe we're going to recommend to the treasurer that all he has to bond is 2.2.
Very good,
All right,
very good.
so we kind of watch the pennies to make sure they go as far as we can. So I'd appreciate if the fast track is the 14th of June, and the next time you're having a meeting, whatever it might be, and cut her loose and tell her, go ahead and let her try to figure out, if it's a Tuesday for her, it's Tuesday, you know, and
We'll make sure it's on our next agenda, so.
I'd appreciate that. I thank you very much for your cooperation.
Thank you, Joe. I have a letter from Animal Control asking for a hearing regarding two dogs owned by Patrick Riley of 148 Bucknell Road in Raynham.
Motion to set the hearing date on June 12th?
June 12th sounds good to me. I don't think we have anything on that date.
Not yet.
We can go into the full
At the hearing.
reason at that point in time. That takes care of correspondence. There is no press time. Mr. Texera, did you have anything?
Yes, just some information for you, if I may. John Texera, 122 First Street. Just for information, next Monday, June the 4th, myself and Mr. Iafredi will be attending a meeting at Mass DOT,
good.
District
Yes.
5 on Route 140, to discuss Route 138 resurfacing. Maybe
Excellent.
we can get a better date than what we currently have. And the next meeting I'll come in, if Bob doesn't already, I'll let you know what came out of that. Hopefully we can get that moved up, because it's worse every day, that road.
Oh, I know, it's really bad.
But anyway, that's all I had. I just want to let you know about that.
Thank you very much for giving us that
By the way,
update.
it's at 1 o'clock. I mean,
Yeah.
you're more than welcome to attend if you'd like, but Bob and I are going to go for sure.
Right, did you inform Mr. Buckley?
I didn't, but Bob did. Bob put out
Okay,
an
as long as
email
he's
to
aware of it.
To all the appropriate people.
Okay,
Did you see it? Yeah. Okay. All right. That's all I
thank you,
had.
sir,
Thank you.
appreciate that. Motion, do you have anything else you want to say?
Motion to adjourn.
One more thing too. I had spoken with Michael Halen, our Raynham Channel director, about the possibility of scheduling Selectmen's meeting at a regular time each week so that people can see it, because I've heard a lot of people say they never know when it's going to be replayed. Obviously, it goes live at 7 o'clock, so he's working on a schedule, and if I'm correct about this, that would be Tuesday evenings at 5 o'clock. He would play a meeting, 2 meetings before, 6 o'clock the previous meeting, then 7 o'clock live, and then repeat those 3 meetings after that. So Tuesday night, if anyone wants to know what's going on in town. Is that correct, Michael?
I heard some of it. Hi, everyone. Michael Halen. So after talking with you, what I've done is, the issue we had in the past was that people turned the meeting on, and if it was a short meeting, they said it was never on. So for the half hour leading up to the meeting, there is a graphic on the screen that says the meeting will start at 7. And then after the meeting, it says, thank you for watching the meeting. It'll be replayed at 9 and 10 tonight. That's why I'm here, to get the DVD afterwards. But what I'm going to do is that, depending on the meetings the weeks prior, we're going to play the last 2 meetings back to back prior to the 6:30 slide. And then after the meeting, we're going to try to fit the last 2 in. If we can't fit them both in before 9 o'clock, we'll put the last one on. If you guys happen to do a 2-hour meeting, which is possible, we will just have the thank you for watching slide and then the show on at 9. So basically, every week, a couple hours before 6:30, the last 2 weeks, 6:30 to 7, we'll tell everyone to please watch. And then after the meeting, we'll play the last 2 weeks, and the meeting from tonight will play at 9 and 10. And also on public access, Channel 9, there's a reminder from 6:45 to 7 to tune in to Channel 98 or 34 on Verizon.
Our ratings are just going to go through the roof. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So they're going to get a whole bunch of selectmen's meetings, and they'll be able to see them 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is that what Pat had said was that in the past, if there's a continuation, which happened last month, you have a meeting for 25 minutes, half an hour, continuation, and then people either see part 1 or part 2.
Yeah, right,
And it's
right.
like Rocky. You got to watch 1 and 2 back to back to get the full effect. So that's what we're going to do. So now if we have 3 meetings, boom, 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 then people will see,
The beginning and the end.
that's the whole thing. So that's why I'm here, and then we're
Thank
going to
you,
work on
Michael.
different ways to do it, but for right now, we're going to do it this way.
Thank you, Michael.
Motion to adjourn, Madam Chair. Sign the bills, no business thereafter.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.